Hi, Jasmine.
Hello.
How are you? Yeah, I'm glad you texted me because everyone seems to be a little bit muddled up today. How's it going? You had a great day. You had a great
Yeah.
152 miles. That's really impressive.
Yeah, that was the other day though. But yeah, so the sailing instructions, they say the second Monday after the start. Now we started on Tuesday, which means technically it's like next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I texted Don, and obviously like that was clear as mud, and it says read the sailing instructions, and I'm like, I have, but is it today or next week because you've changed the start date?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He should have updated that, and he hasn't done so. That's probably what's caused the confusion. I'll let him know so he can send the message.
Has anybody else called you?
Yeah, Renault called me, and then Dan called out of turn because he rang late. And luckily that John and Popeye are still in Panama. They haven't left yet, and so their slot was vacant, and Dan rang during their slot. Otherwise it would have gotten confused with their time slot. So everyone's a little bit out of whack, but that's okay.
Yeah.
How are things going? It looks like it's all slowing down, huh?
There is absolutely zero wind right now. I have a flogging main and flogging spinnaker, and I'm spinning in circles.
Yeah, nice too. And how long has that been going on for?
Pretty much all day and half of yesterday. I had some wind last night, came for about a couple of hours. I had some a couple of hours ago, but other than that, it's been pretty dire.
When you had the wind earlier, when you had the wind and current with you, you were making exceptionally good speeds there. And one of your photographs showed you with the two kites poled out. Was that working well for you when you got the wind in the right direction?
Well, to be honest, the wind's been so changeable. I've had every different sail combination, and I keep on changing just to see what makes it work. Nothing lasts longer than like 2 hours, to be honest. Yeah. So it's difficult to say works because honestly today I've had every single sail up. But the thing is, because the wind changes so fast, you do a sail and then it doesn't seem to work, so then you put it back to how it was, and it wasn't the sail, it was the conditions that changed, so then you have to change it back again. And it's, yeah.
The doldrums do seem to drive people crazy. I've been through them once before, but we didn't have such a bad trip. We were lucky. But hopefully you'll get through, but it looks like the trade winds are down around 5 degrees south, so it's varying a bit. But you may have a way to go yet before you break through.
I know. It's especially today so far, in 12 hours, I've moved 20 miles. So, and I'm not expecting...
Yeah, you're not expecting?
Yeah. I'm not expecting to make that again for the next 12 hours, because I need to sleep. So I'm thinking 30 miles a day is pretty good going. Making more than a knot is good. So, and we've got 300 miles to go till we're south of the Galapagos.
Yeah, so you could easily be out another week or 10 days before you get into the trade winds by the sound of it.
Like, at least, yeah. Because then that's just like to the south of Galapagos. And then you've still got like another bit more to go till you're in the trade winds. And that's if like I can still make a knot a day. But the thing is, I'm hand steering and I get tired. And because there's no wind, the wind vane steering doesn't work. So you go to sleep and then your boat turns around and you go backwards.
And how are you coping with the heat?
To be honest, I'm pretty good with it. So I have my solar panels above my head on an arch, so it's quite cool.
Okay, so you have a bit of
When I say,
back there. That's good.
yeah, like I'm not. It's only when you do something, like if you move the sails or do something like that, and then if you go down below, that's when it's bad. But not if you just sat underneath the shade most of the day anyway. I just took my knees up to my chest and hide.
And if it's when you go down below to sleep at night, is the cabin cool enough that you can actually sleep?
To be honest, I've not actually had like a sleep at night. I've been up, down, naps here and there. And so you're so tired anyway that yeah, I sleep on deck, to be honest. I sleep with some hand steering. So I sat on my chair, I've got my hand on my tiller arm, and I'll just nod off. And I'll like jump awake, look at my compass, fall asleep again.
Okay, so that's the sort of sleeping you're doing. And do you find that it's giving you enough recovery? Are you not getting too tired?
No, I'm pretty tired.
Okay.
But it's just after working so hard to try and gain some miles, I don't want to just like let them go by falling asleep for 8 hours, you know?
Yeah, I can understand that. The frustrations of the doldrums. And are you seeing any ships and wildlife? Anything out there?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's lots of litter, there's lots of trees and logs and bamboo, lots of plastic bowls. But I've had dolphins twice today. I had some first thing this morning. When I say first thing, I mean like 5 a.m. And then I had some just as the sun was setting again. But I thought they were whales, they were massive. I'm pretty sure they were dolphins, but they were like really big dolphins.
Okay.
And then I've had a crab on the boat, just hanging off the back of the boat, and I saw another crab swimming next to me earlier. And lots of birds, and I've had some boats. So there was a bit weird today. There was first thing this morning, I had a helicopter circle over above me. And then just as the sun was setting again, there was a big trawling boat, and it seemed to have a couple of speedboats around it, and there was a helicopter flying around as well. And then another boat.
They're tuna boats, I think. They send the helicopters up to look for the shoals of fish.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite a common thing in that part of the world for some reason.
Right. And then but they had like speedboats in the water, and they had other stuff like in the water as well, and big nets and that. So yeah, that's So there's been a couple of them, which is quite hard to avoid, because they also just sort of go wherever they like, and I don't have much control, and I don't want to get close at all.
Yeah, so I totally had a look at you, but there's no sign of them. You don't feel threatened or anything.
No?
Ah, good.
Should I?
No, you shouldn't. No, they are legitimate fishermen, and they're quite often Americans. From the USA. So I think they're quite safe.
Yeah, well, the fact that they had AIS and it went off for me, alerted me they were there, gives me a good sign. I'm like, if a boat's got AIS, then it's got to be pretty legit.
The fishing boats that people have worried a little bit about are Ecuadorian, and I'm sure most of the Ecuadorian fishing boats are okay, but there have been a few rogue ones have done a bit of pirating apparently, or attempted to board yachts, but off the coast of Ecuador. But other than that, I think you're pretty safe out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm far enough away from land, really, for that.
Yeah, once you get out right to it's usually closer in, a couple hundred miles off the Ecuador coast. Once you're out near the Galapagos, I think you're fine. And are you doing much cooking? What are you doing for eating?
To be honest, I'm not really eating very much at all. It's taken a little while for my body to adjust. And like on land, I eat so much. I put on so much weight when I'm on land that then like my body needs a break by the time I come back out to sea. So, yeah, I had a tuna wrap today, Had some chocolate. But that's pretty much it. I literally haven't touched my food. Had some Pringles, and I've had a couple of tins of octopus, and that's been it for like 5 days.
Wow. And what about the chocolate? Is it what sort of chocolate do you have, and is it coping well with the heat?
I've got every different bar that the shop had, to be honest.
Doesn't melt.
And it seems, yeah, it's under my they're under my bunk is where I store it, and yeah, it seems to be fine. A little bit mushy, but chocolate's chocolate.
Yeah, you reckon you got enough to last you for 60 days?
I've got like 70 bars of it.
That's good, because you may not get much in the Marquesas either. You get some, but they're limited supplies there, so Tahiti will be your next major provisioning spot for things like chocolate, I think.
Yeah, so I think I should have enough, and I'm hoping that I won't be out here for 60 days. It just depends on these doldrums. Like, once we're clear of here, it's like 3,400 miles or something.
Yeah, and you should do it in 25 days probably once you get into the tradewinds.
That's doing very good. I'm thinking more 30 days.
Could be 25 to 30 days. I think you'll find that you'll be getting... It'll change, of course, but it's looking at the moment like it's about 20 knots. So, in that part of the world, it's very common to get really steady trade-winds. So,
okay.
I've had friends not touch their sheets for 10 or 15 days, and they've just been charging along with the wind from the southeast. But it does vary. Sometimes we go a bit more east, and sometimes we go a bit more south-southeast, but pretty steady in strength. So you should have a fairly fast trip, I think, once you get into the trades.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's just going to take a while to get there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who's not in a race trickle through with their engines just to break through. But you'll just have to deal with it, I guess. And how are you feeling? Because I remember you were saying you were a bit emotional leaving Panama and a bit unsettled. Have you got back into the groove?
Yeah, I'm happy out here. I think this is the happiest I've been out at sea for the first bit that happened. So, like, every other leg, whenever I've left, I've sort of been counting the days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, as if I've only been at sea for 1 day. As if it's been 2 days and all this. And now I'm like, 5 days already. Look at that. You know what I mean? It's like, I've settled in a lot faster than every other leg. Well, and I think it's knowing for even longer.
Yeah, and you've got experience with long passages, long periods at sea, so you'll probably cope very, very well, I think.
Yeah, and I've got the connection and stuff. But yeah, it's just talking to the others is nice.
And
to keep me going.
What's your water supply like?
I've got, 150 litres or something with me. So what have I drank already? I've drank about just over 10 litres, I think, so far I've drank.
Well, that's pretty good, because you're only doing about 2 litres a day or something. That's excellent. I think some of the others are struggling a little bit with water consumption. Dan said he was drinking 5 litres a day and he was going to have to cut back a bit.
Really? Wow. No, you see, I don't drink very much anyway, just on land. And as I said, like, I'm shaded quite a lot. And, like, some days, so like yesterday I didn't really drink very much at all. So today I purposely tried to drink more.
It's important to find the balance, isn't it, so that you don't get dehydrated.
Yeah, but I feel fine. I know I'm happy. I know I've definitely drunk less before. I'm drinking more than I would ever normally drink.
Do you use electrolytes or anything to because of the perspiration?
Do you know what, sorry?
Do you use electrolytes or other supplements?
I've got some vitamin tablets with me. Yeah, I don't really know what they are, but it's just some vitamin tablets.
Electrolytes apparently replace the minerals in your bloodstream if you're perspiring a lot. A lot of sportsmen use electrolytes if they're running marathons or whatever, because they wash out your minerals. Anyway, you seem to be pretty healthy, so I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm good. My body's pretty good at coping with stuff.
Your styling's working okay?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, so...
And how about your power consumption? Now that Josh has helped you out with your electrical system, is that much improved now? Because you always had trouble with your electrics before.
Yeah, well, I've got new batteries now. Ones that weren't run down to 0% and weren't 5 years old. So, yeah, I've got some good batteries, so it's a lot better.
Yeah. Did you do any other work to the electrical system? I know Josh was helping you a bit setting things up.
No, to be honest, it would be such a big job to do anything else. The only other thing I did was me and Kerry swapped GPS chart plotters, and that's it really with the electrics.
Okay, so you're quite happy with how it's all working at the moment?
Well, as long as my Starlink works and I've got AIS and I can charge my phone, that's all I use.
Do you use autopilot much?
No, never.
Okay. Well, you do quite a bit of hand steering, don't you?
Yes. So I'm sat on deck right now, hand steering.
I remember you saying that it helped pass the time.
Yeah, it does.
What else do you do for entertainment? Do you read or listen to music?
I might put some music on now and then, but to be honest, because Panama was just a bit hectic, for the first couple of weeks, I don't care for music, books, anything like that. Not bothered. I just want peace and quiet. And then when I get bored, I ring my friends. I'll spend time on the phone. It's like this morning I was on the phone for like 3 hours or something, from like 4 a.m. till 7.
Okay, well that's...
and that was just falling asleep.
You seem to enjoy Panama a lot. You had a great time in Panama running around in the jungle.
Oh, Panama's an amazing country. Yeah, I loved it.
I think you might go back there one day. I guess it's hard to tell.
I'd love to. Definitely. When I'm older and I've got more money, I'd get a bigger boat and I'd do this route again, but slowly.
As a cruise.
Well,
yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. More slowly than this.
But it's certainly giving. This is your reconnaissance trip.
Yeah.
Just checking it all out and seeing where all the good places are. But there's so much in the Pacific. You could spend years just in the Pacific Islands themselves.
Yeah, I know. So that's a plan for the future, if this all goes well.
Okay, and how's the sextant work going? You obviously got your green card, so you managed to get on top of the celestial navigation?
Yeah, I still need to do some more. But I've got 60 days to do and figure that out.
Okay, yeah, so I remember Don saying that he didn't say who, but he said some entrants still had to do some work on their celestial and then photograph their calculations and send them back to him in order to get clearance. So you one of those people,
Yeah.
are you?
I think he said it to everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think he just wants everybody to do it again.
Yeah. So what?
Like, there's not a single well, apart from like Kerry, there's not a single person I've spoke to that like he didn't say to keep practicing.
What do you when you do your position lines? And the noon sight's easy enough, but what tables etc. are you using for position lines?
I have no idea.
You don't know. So what do you do when you take your morning and afternoon sights, or are you just doing a noon sight?
Well, I take the sight.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave it, and then I'll go to land, and I get someone to help me.
Oh, okay. So I think the name of the game is that you're supposed to work it out yourself and plot it on your chart, isn't it?
It is, but I've got so many different ways to do it, and I've tried doing it a couple of times myself, but the amount of errors that you make, so I've done it, but then you take it to land, and you get someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I taught myself to navigate out of a book by Eric Hiscox.
There's a bird stuck in my sail. What? There's a bird stuck in my sail.
There's a bird stuck in my sail?
Yeah, there's literally a bird stuck in my sail. What? I'm going to have to go help that. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to hang up?
No, it's alright, it's gone now.
Oh, how did it get stuck there?
I have no idea. So my sail's obviously flogging loads, and so I literally can't explain. But the sail was like flogged on on deck, and there was just a tiny little bird. Well, not that big, maybe like the size of a small pigeon.
Oh, okay.
Was just sort of like caught up in the sail that was on deck.
Yeah, I was thinking of something like a booby, a great big bird, and I was thinking, how would that get stuck in the sail? But yeah, a little one I can see get caught under the fold of the material.
Yeah.
What I was going to say about navigation is that I have given copies of a chapter from Eric Hiscox's book to Gary Swindale, as well as Popeye and Blinky, and so you won't be seeing Popeye and Blinky for a while, but Gary has a copy that very clearly shows you how to work out the line of position yourself, and so maybe when you meet Gary in the Marquesas you can get him to show it to you.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've got loads of different books and notes, like, it's just putting them all together.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught up in the theory, I think. I didn't bother with the theory. I just used those particular notes which said you open this book and you add this to that and you go to that column and you subtract that. And it was just like a cake recipe, and I just followed it and I got my line of position, and I didn't bother to even think about the theory.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Okay.
It's a very simple way of doing it, and you get the result, and you don't have to worry about why it works as long as it works.
Yeah.
Because all those books,
most
of those books, people they start floundering while they're trying to understand all the explanations, and they get a bit flustered. But there's really the actual mechanism, the mechanics of it are really basic. There's just a few columns that you have to add and subtract numbers from. So anyway, talk to Gary. He might be able to give you some advice. He may not have looked at it himself. I've got no idea, but I did send it to him.
Cool. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's just something else to occupy your time, I guess. Are you? Do you take any showers, like your buckets of seawater, or what? How do you approach that? Are you using baby wipes?
Just baby wipes.
And do you have any plans to try and any systems to catch rainwater if you get a rain squall?
Yeah, I just use a bucket under the main. It depends on how much water I've got on the boat.
Yeah.
If I've got plenty, then pointless.
Yeah, I think a bucket under the gooseneck is a really good place to catch rain. And so, what are you looking forward to most when you arrive in the Marquesas? It's a bit early to think about that, I guess.
Just get in there, to be honest.
And there's no maintenance issues on the boat so far?
My mast lights don't work again, even though we fixed them.
That's your masthead tricolour?
Yeah.
Okay. You've got navigation lights on the deck as well, I presume?
Yeah.
Everything else is working all right?
I think so.
Okay, well, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about?
I don't think so. That's pretty much it. I think we've not been at sea for very long.
No, it's not very long. So, I'll talk to you every fortnight from now on, so that should be easy to keep track of, hopefully.
Cool.
I'm just waiting for my next call. Will be about half an hour from Josh. See whether he's understood the sailing instructions or not. But I can understand.
Yeah, honestly, say the second Monday after the race start. Now we started on Tuesday, which means it's not today, it's next week. Which is why I was there like, is it next week? Because, yeah, technically it should be, but it depends on if he's going off the day we actually started or the day we were meant to start.
Yes, obviously it was written before they changed the date, and then it wasn't updated. But anyway, we've got that all sorted out now. I'm quite happy for you to call me at other times if you ever need someone else to talk to. But it sounds to me like you've got plenty of friends there that you can chat to at home. So I wish you all the best, and I look forward to our next chat. And hopefully next time, I'm sure that when we talk next time, you'll be in the tradewinds.
I hope so.
I'm sure you will. You couldn't spend another 2 weeks drifting around. Sometimes feels endless, but I think sometime in the next 10 to 12 days, you'll get into the tradewinds and you'll be off.
Yeah. Hope so. Okay. Well, I'll speak to you later.
Yeah, thanks for the chat, Jasmine. I'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.